What is going on, guys? We're back with another video, and we are doing another experiment. And I would normally kind of do something like this later on in the year, where we kind of know who might have been the best, of the rookies and all that. But this, I do kind of randomly do these every once in a while too, where I just say, hey, this guy is gonna go here instead of there, So I don't know if I really do too much draft stuff. Like I think last year I did a few, and I know at one point we had a series where we were redrafting like 3-year periods, which was kind of fun, but a lot of work. So I don't think that'll return unless you guys really want to see it. I don't think I'll do a proper like first round redraft or anything. I think Bengal's doing that. I remember I kind of did some draft things slightly before him, and he was like, just promise me you won't do the redraft for the first round and all that. I was like, yeah, you got that, bro. You got that. Don't really want to do that. I mean, it's cool and all that. I don't really want to do that anyways. But here we are doing the quarterback redraft. I don't think there's really another position that I would do that really has that much of an impact. However, I will say some players do kind of fall into this redraft. So, you might see a couple of running backs or a wide receiver or something, because obviously if someone's going to take a different player, it's usually because of a trade. And if you trade, other things get affected. The old butterfly effect. But the reason why we're even doing this draft thing early is I really don't have many ideas for experiments and all that. I don't want to, really redo too many things. I have a couple of ideas, but I kind of want to save those for the actual proper desperation times, which could be soon if you guys don't give me some damn ideas. But yeah, you know what I'm saying. But of course, to see the results of an NFL mix-up here, we have to see how it would look normally, and here we are. So obviously the main teams with quarterbacks, we'll take a look at those. So Baker Mayfield, 3,900 yards, 26 touchdowns, 11 picks. Not a great season, really. Did finish 8-8, which is pretty freaking good for the Browns, to be honest. Myles Garrett with 21 sacks. That is not bad at all. Picks, so Denzel Ward just had a terrible rookie season for the Browns here, which was very interesting. Let's take a look at the rest of it. I don't care about the awards or anything. I guess we'll take a look at the awards too. Might as well. I totally forgot to... Josh Allen didn't even start. Sam Bradford. They signed a quarterback over over Josh Allen. That's ridiculous. Let's go to the Cardinals now. So Josh Rosen, 24 touchdowns, 11 picks, 3,400 yards. I don't know why I'm going over there. Let's take a look elsewhere. So let's take a look at the Giants, I suppose, because Giants they actually do come into play here, which is interesting. 26 touchdowns, 12 picks, 4,000 yards. Laletta, of course, nothing. Sam Darnold, 25 touchdowns, 12 picks. Ravens, Lamar Jackson threw 1 passing touchdown. Joe Flacco, though, 3,300 yards, 16 touchdowns, 12 picks. Not great at all. Is there any other quarterbacks I'm thinking? So Baker Mayfield wins AFC Player, Offensive Rookie of the Year. And then NFC, of course, Saquon Barkley. So pretty average, expected stuff. Let's go to the Super Bowl, see if any of the rookie quarterback teams made it. And it was not, but the Bears are in it versus the Patriots. And the winner will be the Patriots by 3. So here we are. We're going to have to look at all the moves. But the Giants, they land Josh Rosen. This isn't the Giants. This is the Browns. Okay, I'm stupid. I was about to say, that's not exactly what I thought it was going to be. But the Browns kind of tells you how good they actually drafted. They mixed things up. They decided to trade away number 1. I don't even know who I had them trading. I think the Giants move up in my book here. They move up using a second-round pick, which gains the, what is it called? All right, so I made this way more complicated than I needed to. I figured it all out. All right, so stick with me here. I might even have to take another look after this. So the Browns trade down 1 pick to the Giants. They get, they obviously swap with them, so they don't get Baker Mayfield. They don't get Saquon. They decide to go elsewhere. And they trade down again to the Cardinals to number 10. So the Cardinals at number 10, they move up. What the hell did I do? What did I actually do? So we'll clean this all up afterwards. The Giants, they move up a spot. They want Baker Mayfield. They do it. They get rid of their second-round pick. And believe it or not, the Browns, they're like, you know what? I'll take even more picks. We're rebuilding for the long term. We're going to trade down again. We're going to move down to 3. So Number 1, Baker Mayfield. Number 2 goes Saquon Barkley. So number 3, now the Browns are like, you know what? We need more. We want more. We have already acquired an extra pick next year through 2 different trades. We've added those 2 together from the Buccaneers, or for the Cardinals, and we've added a second round next year. So from number 3, we're going to trade all the way down to the Cardinals at number 10, and they're going to get Sam Darnold at 3. But because we go all the way down to number 10, the Browns, they added that extra pick. They got Josh Rosen at 10. And then in the second round, instead of Cardinals getting Christian Kirk, they get Christian Kirk, adding a new wide receiver to their list. So there, it makes a little bit more sense now. So, of course, now the mix-up, Giants have Baker. They don't have Saquon, but they did get Nick Chubb. So here the Browns are just getting absolutely screwed, basically. But they go, they have Crowell and Duke Johnson. They Crowell back through the trade. They're like, you know what? We want him. We don't want to lose him. We actually want him. So really, the Browns get screwed here more than anyone. But they added an extra pick next year, an extra first round from a team that isn't looking too good, the Buccaneers. So there's that. However, because of the trade downs, that is not true. They did not get anything else. They just got the extra first round. They did add the wide receiver, which they did need. They ended up with a different quarterback, Josh Rosen. Got to move Tyrod Taylor's stats down. I know, I'm all over the place here, but it got very complicated very quickly. That's all I'm going to say. It got super complicated, and I didn't expect it to, but it did. So, of course, where the hell are the Cardinals? So the Cardinals, they have Sam Darnold. They traded all the way up to number 3. They lost quite a bit. Then you have the Bills, who kind of made out a little bit better because Josh Allen so far doesn't look too great. Not that Mason Rudolph's going to look too great either. But with the Bills trading down instead, they did add Vita Vea, so that was a nice pick. They were able to take Vita Vea and number 7, didn't really move down, but they ended up taking Mason Rudolph later in the draft. So they actually made out a little bit better technically in Madden. It just didn't really pan. It wouldn't technically pan out too well in real life, in my opinion. And then the Jets, with their extra pick, they trade back up into the first round around pick 30, and they land Lamar Jackson. So really, the Jets are the hugest winners here. They end up taking Saquon Barkley and Lamar Jackson in the first round. Going to be interesting to see how this one works out. So, of course, the Buccaneers, they kind of got screwed over on Vita Vea. However, they did add another lineman in Will Hernandez, so hopefully they put him in a starting spot. Big need for this team. They did need offensive line. So they actually have one of the better offensive lines in the league now, with Will Hernandez playing the right guard spot for them. And I believe that is basically the mix-up here. So to recap the very confusing way I did this, the Bills, they now have Mason Rudolph, what I believe a third-round quarterback. Josh Rosen is now a Brown. The Cardinals were able to get Sam Darnold. Where's the next team? Giants, they got Baker Mayfield. No Saquon, but now they have Chubb. The Jets were able to get Lamar Jackson and Saquon Barkley. Clearly, the very easily luckiest team out of all of them. Some of it, kind of doesn't really make any sense at all. And then the Ravens got Josh Allen, and just for this, and all Lauletta, but just for this, whatever, this experiment, we're going to make Joe Flacco bad, so then Josh Allen could play. See the difference between that. I think Flacco is around 4,000 yards. And then, of course, the Buccaneers with Will Hernandez. The Browns also added Christian Kirk. So let's take a look at the differences. So, of course, the Browns were 8-8. I didn't look at the record on the other side. Probably should have taken a look at that. But the stats are really all that matters, because the teams, the sim is really random. But if the stats are good, then we kind of have a little bit of a telltale sign. So, of course, without Baker Mayfield, they lose one extra game, and they go 7-9. Josh Rosen, 23 for 15. I'm actually going to have to go back and write these stats down. There's way too many players involved. So if we compare Josh Rosen to Baker Mayfield, Josh is about 50 yards less, 4 picks more, and 2 touchdowns less. Also lost one more game. And so Josh Rosen was not really the best move for the Browns, but Christian Kirk did pretty well, I suppose. And they spread the ball right. They moved the ball around quite a bit. They have a lot of yards, 600-700 yards for several players here, which is, you're not going to expect super great stats. Let's go to the Bills. They took Sam Bradford again. However, 1 touchdown more, 1 pick more, yardage. All of it's very similar stats to the normal Sam Bradford. Sam Darnold for the Cards. The Cardinals beforehand, they had Josh Rosen, of course, 24 touchdowns, 11 picks. But obviously here, 3 more touchdowns, 2 less picks. About 100 yards less, however, though. But a bit more precise, I suppose. And here, Baker Mayfield, a little bit more precise than the Browns, Baker. You see 1 more touchdown, 6 less picks. Yardage, about 200 yards more. Rushing, Chubb, 5 more touchdowns than Saquon. However, he did have about, 300 yards less, I suppose. So, I mean, technically better, but, touchdowns doesn't really prove too much that a running back's better. Yards, in my opinion, makes a little bit more of a test. Taking a look at Saquon, though, on the Jets. Similar touchdowns, but 300 yards less. And then Lamar Jackson, a lot of touchdowns, you could see there. 37 touchdowns, 18 picks, 3,300 yards, quite a bit. Better than most of the quarterbacks in this test, though, which is obviously kind of subjective because you can see there's a lot of picks, quite a bit of touchdowns. Joe Flacco, similar, though, because, he had 10 less touchdowns, but he did also have a bit less picks. So you kind of add a third to that from each side, and it kind of equals out, so it's interesting, but Lamar was the best, I'd say. And then Saquon pretty good. So the Jets did work out pretty well. Josh Allen compared to Joe Flacco, a bit better touchdowns, 6 better touchdowns. However, he did have 6 more picks. So, you compare Lamar on the Jets to Joe Flacco, and then compare it to Josh Allen. They're all kind of similar, but Josh Allen, more touchdowns, more picks. But you're not guaranteed to give up a score on a pick, but you are guaranteed a touchdown if you actually get a touchdown. So there's that. So Josh Allen, technically better than Joe Flacco, similar to them, but obviously quite a bit younger. So I don't know. Is that a good thing? Is it a bad thing? I don't know. So the last 2 things we have to look at are the Offensive Rookie of the Year awards and how the teams actually finished. So if Offensive Rookie of the Year, Lamar Jackson on this side, of course. And then on the NFC, Baker Mayfield, of course, wins it. But he has less competition than his normal AFC side. There's really only a few on the NFC side that could really win it over Baker in this case. And obviously Baker being the highest overall quarterback by quite a bit, pretty much guaranteed it automatically. But let's take a look at the records. Sioux did better, or worse, I suppose, with their new or lost talent. Of course, Browns, we lost an extra game without Baker and technically Chubb, I suppose. So the Jets were 6-10 here, but they were 7-9 on the other side. So technically, even though Lamar was better, they lost an extra game. The Bills, 4-11-1 here, but they were 6-9-1 on the other side, which makes no sense because they're technically better. I mean, same situation, but Sam Bradford was better than the other side, which is interesting. But let's take a look at the Giants. The Giants, 6-9-1. They got an extra game and a half better. They were 5-11 before, 6-9-1 this time. So a little bit better, but with Baker Mayfield being that much better of a quarterback, you would think it would have been more. Cardinals get an extra win. And then the Ravens, you can see the Buccaneers 4-12, not great. 7-2 here instead of 5-11. So Josh Allen was the biggest impact, I suppose, out of all the teams. However, they still didn't make the playoffs, didn't really improve them too much. But, I mean, still, really not a whole lot of a change. It's kind of weird that the Buccaneers did worse because they didn't even get worse on defense because Vita Vea is good, but he wasn't even starting, and they got a new offensive guard, so I don't even know what that's about. So let's take a look at who wins the Super Bowl, I suppose. The Patriots won by 3 over the Bears before. This time, who is it going to be? Any new names? And it is... Oh, damn. Dolphins over Seahawks. Really? That makes a lot of sense, I suppose, you know? Hope you guys enjoyed the video. It took longer than I thought. There was a lot of different stats. It was very hard to tell, what I was looking at and what I needed to compare. Definitely need to be a little more organized if I do another draft video in the future. Let me know if you guys have any suggestions for what-ifs or experiments in the future. I definitely could use some help. If not, I have a couple of ideas, but I kind of want to hold on to that until we really, really need it. But I like to keep all the mistakes in there just for the hell of it, so it doesn't look super scripted. so I don't have something to read off of. You know, don't forget to say something like, subscribe, maybe check out my Twitter, Jeromepkr. PKR Plays YouTube channel. I'm just saying. But hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys come back for next video. But until next video, see ya!